Coburn went on to say in this clip that no matter what the guns laws are, criminals are going to break them anyway. But that's what makes them criminals. There are laws. That's what happens. Criminals are going to break the laws. But put the laws in place so that it criminalizes what these people are doing, and then you can put them away when you get them. I mean, it's not like the police aren't armed, and I can't understand why they cannot make incremental changes in American gun laws. Listen to you want to listen to Tom Coburn talk about that? That's clip number 6.
Even as a supporter of gun rights, as Congresswoman Giffords is, can you not look at areas of access to weapons, but also looking at limiting the scope by these magazine clips and say there may be something that's common sense here?
Well, again, I would tell you that let's say you pass that. If you have somebody that is a criminal that wants to get around the law, they're going to get around the law. The problem with gun laws is they limit the ability to defend yourself, one, but number two is the people who are going to commit a crime or going to do something crazy aren't going to pay attention to the laws in the first place. And there's numerous examples over the last few years where concealed carry has in fact benefited people, especially for example, in Colorado Springs, where an individual with a concealed carry stopped somebody who was going to kill multiple people in a church and wounded them so that they could not continue to do that.
It's amazing that you can cite one example of where concealed carry worked. And by the way, what Coburn's talking about in Colorado, people died there anyway, and he was subdued by someone with a concealed carry permit. People are killed every single day by guns. And Senator Coburn from Oklahoma can go on television and cite one example of why we have to have concealed carry, where it was successful. Numerous occasions, he says, but he cited one. And let's say there were numerous. 8? Over the past 2 years, how many people die every day from gunfire?
Let alone the fact, as we discussed earlier, in this specific case in the Arizona shooting, the guy who was carrying the weapon almost killed the Good Samaritan, almost killed the wrong guy. So there's your example of what a terrible idea it is. But I actually want to address his first point, because it is so profoundly stupid, okay?
The criminals.
Why should we criminalize anything? Because the criminals will ignore the law anyway. Right. Think about that in another context. Why should we criminalize murder or rape? Because people are going to kill and rape anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's the Wild West. He's from Oklahoma. I mean,
but wait a minute. Then one of the reasons to criminalize it is so we can prosecute them. And instead of saying, oh, okay, they're going to do murder anyway, let them walk. No, don't let them walk. Don't let them do that. At least have some sort of deterrence. I thought conservatives believed in deterrence.
Right.
I mean, what kind of crazy argument is, well, since people are going to do it anyway, let's just not criminalize it. How about pot? People do pot anyway.
Yeah.
So you want to decriminalize that? No, of course not, right? You're doing this selectively because you're in love with guns. As many guns as possible, semi-automatic weapons that kill more people. And the Republican Party, for example, because the NRA says to do this, say that people on the terrorist watch list can still buy a gun because they're obsessed. And the reality is his argument, and he's got to know this, is horrible argument. Yeah. I mean, I got to repeat it. I got to say it again. I mean, imagine somebody walks on television and says, well, look, people rape no matter what, okay? So let's just let them. And no, what's the point of criminalizing? They're going to rape anyway, right?
No, it would be like taking date rape out of that, like an incremental change. Right. Well, they're going to do it anyway, so the criminals are just going to date rape anyhow. It's ridiculous. Then when you look at the examples in the modern world, we are Neanderthals. If you look at Canada, if you look at France, if you look at the UK, there are none of the gun deaths because you cannot walk in and buy a gun. If Jared Loughner was not able to buy a gun, those 6 people would be alive. It's a simple fact. So the gun, maybe the gun laws or maybe his right to have a gun is protected in the Constitution or whatever. The simple fact is, if he doesn't have the gun, those people are alive. That's all. End of story.
And of course, people are going to listen to Michael's argument, conservatives are, and they're going to go, yeah, Canada, France, whatever. Yeah, those people are liberals. We're number 1 in gun deaths. And
by so much, we're killing them, literally, in gun deaths.
We've got to institute some sort of sanity in this country. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're anywhere near close to it.